Good morning. We are back in Connie's Kitchenz with a Z. This is episode 68, and today we are at the Oxford Fire Station. This is Chief Pete Schultz, and I've been trying to get up here and do this with you for a couple of years.
It's been at least almost 2 years now.
I know it, but you're a busy guy.
No, everybody's busy.
That's true. But, I mean, you have things like that annoying bell that goes off when you're in the middle of something.
Very inconvenient at times.
Yeah. But we're going to make a meal that I'll explain it as we go, but right now I want to get something in the oven. So these are garbanzo beans.
Okay.
You can dump them in there. I've put them through the strainer and rinsed them. I normally don't use canned anything, but there's no other way to get garbanzo beans. But I always rinse that stuff off of them. I'm not sure, it's water and salt and I don't know what all it is. So this is kind of a way to add another element to a cold, I hesitate to call it a salad, but it kind of is. So drop that in there.
All right.
And then we're going to, this was kind of something that somebody sent me, but of course I always play with it. So I'm going to update it some. This is fig vinegar. Really nice stuff. So drizzle that on there and kind of stir it through. And then we're going to season it.
That's different.
Isn't that nice? It's not nice?
No,
Oh.
How much?
Just a drizzle. Just kind of make them wet. I'm not big into exact measure.
Okay.
So sprinkle them with some garlic, some paprika, some herbs, and then we'll just throw that in the oven. Get this stuff out of the way. I just wanted to do something that was savory but not completely savory, and I thought the fig would make a nice contrast. So we're going to throw that in the oven for about 20 minutes. Look at him.
Paprika?
Yes. You know you have an onion on your windowsill?
It's part of the decoration.
It's lovely.
Makes it look like a kitchen.
Gotta have garlic.
Granulated garlic.
Gotta have some garlic. I'm not sure what this is going to do. I don't know whether they're going to get crunchy or just, I'm not sure. But I just thought it'd be
This is the first time try.
Oh, yeah.
You blame it on me if it doesn't turn out
No,
right.
no. Sometimes they're happy accidents. Sometimes things turn out great. Sometimes they don't. Pop it right in the oven behind you. The oven's set at 400. And like I said, somebody sent me the basic idea, and then I just kind of went with it. So now we're going to dice up some cucumber and some avocado.
Sliced, diced, or what do you want it?
Here's your garbage bowl. Do you want to peel it or no? Do you like the peel on the cucumber?
I like it off.
You like it off? You know how to use old school
And I say
peeler?
that, but when I get all done, I don't like cucumber to begin with. So.
Oh, I love cucumber, but it doesn't love me. Yeah.
I like pickles, but I don't like raw cucumber.
Isn't that funny? It's like I can eat coleslaw, but I can't eat cooked cabbage. So while you're doing that, tell me a little bit about what goes on around here.
All right, our station, I should say our department, is a combination department. Combination means that we have full-time career staff that mans the station on a 24-hour basis, and then we have paid-on-call staff, which most people would refer to as the volunteers. We also have the paid-on-call actually do fill a 12-hour shift every single day, 7 days a week, 365.
Really?
So they all sign up to work that shift. When a call comes in, the paid-on-call are eligible or available to run every single call, be it 24 hours a day, whenever they're available, when they're in the community.
If you cut into coins and then,
Okay.
because we want it bite size, however you want to do it. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Got to concentrate a little bit here, you know.
12-hour shifts.
For the paid-on-call, yes.
Yeah.
And then the other full-time work a 24-hour shift.
Oh, okay.
We handle everything from, actually the fire service has evolved so that it's basically any kind of an emergency or people just don't know what to do or who to call, they call the fire department. Mm-hmm. From natural disasters to fires to hazardous materials incidents to down power lines to the proverbial cat in the tree.
Car accidents.
To my house is flooding to I smell smoke or I smell something, even if it's a skunk, but they still smell something and they don't know who to call and the fire department gets called.
For a skunk?
Yes. So our training now has evolved to the point of, it used to be that you just trained for fire. Then it was we just trained for medical. Mm-hmm. Now you train for hazardous materials, you train for power lines, any kind of disasters. We have, you want these all just coated up or diced up?
Yeah,
We also train for,
that's what he's doing. Look at you.
yeah,
I'm sorry, I
for
keep
trench
interrupting you.
rescue, technical rescue for building collapse, structural collapse, high angle rescue for somebody off of a light tower, or
Well, and that, years ago that wouldn't have mattered, but now we've got the big cell towers and all that kind of
Oh,
stuff,
we-
so,
everything that way. So it's, the fire department is basically your go-to people to handle every situation you have. Small enough?
yeah, toss them in there. I guess I hadn't thought about it, but that makes sense because, I mean, the police officers do their job as far as policing, but any type of rescue and such, we'd have to have a specialist, and that's where you come in.
Well, and again, it has a revolving, that thing that I've never in my entire life, career, whatever thought it happened, is we're also the ones now that are being involved with the active shooters, active assailants, what you want to call them.
From a fire standpoint
From
or
the
a
fire,
medical
we're there as
standpoint?
medical aspect.
Right,
A lot of departments are now going to the point that are providing their personnel with vests just like the police do.
Yeah.
We're also part of the rescue task force teams that they've been trained to actually go in with the police on an active shooter to, find, treat the people, and remove them from the hot zone. Mm-hmm. And again, it's like, when would you ever thought of as a firefighter that you would have to wear a vest?
yeah. It's like you got enough equipment as it is, but
Exactly.
again, that makes perfect sense, sadly, in this day and age.
Dive rescue, cold water rescue. Again, it's all situations that need to be handled, and then you got to train on it. And that's the hardest part, is getting the amount of training required to keep your skills up.
Well, you're pretty skilled right here.
Notice I'm focusing on doing that and not looking around.
Yeah, no, you're doing fine. You're doing fine. There's a gentleman here. Is he waiting to talk to you?
You can take it to the front office and have the assistant chief sign. Thanks.
Just half of that. So what is the average length of time that it takes someone to train in any of these specialties? It's got to be,
Basic training to become a paid-on-call firefighter right now is the minimum. They have to be a basic EMT. Mm-hmm. And again, that's roughly 6 months of classes to get your license from that. From there, we put them through Fire Academy, which is another
it worked.
6 to 8. What you're supposed to do is
I know, but that never works. All
always does.
right, so go ahead.
So you've got roughly 1 year of actual classes that you're attending, which gets you your fire certification and your basic EMT.
Cool.
From there, then there's almost another whole year of what we call FDO training, where we actually teach you everything about the department, starting from the basics as far as how to get into the door, to here's the copy machine, here's the washer and dryer to wash the towels that we wash the trucks with, to load the hose, to pack the hose, to learn how to use every single piece of equipment that we have. The entire inventory on every single truck that we have, that all has to be memorized. All the vehicles, they have to be cleared to drive them. Everybody has to know how to run the pumps to be finally cleared to come
Well,
off of
everybody has to
probation.
be pretty interchangeable.
Absolutely.
I mean, you can't afford to send a truck out and go, oops, we didn't
Nope.
send a guy that knows how to do this. So, now do you want to cut avocado?
Either way.
Okay. Look at this, I'm just standing here
The
feeding
same thing
you
again, you
stuff.
want to just diced up and put
Yeah,
it
but you got to
in
take the skin off.
here? Yeah, I do.
You'd be amazed. I've had people go, oh, you can't eat that part? No, I wouldn't want to. Yeah, now, see, lately I've been running into a situation where I need a nice soft avocado and they're rock hard. Yesterday I needed really firm to do this, and I got some. So they're a little soft. Look at me, I'm cleaning up after you. Do you like avocado?
Some in my meal. Guacamole, I love guacamole.
Yeah. Oh, you are really good with that knife. I am really impressed. You see this?
My family says my homemade guacamole is very good.
Yeah. Do you keep it simple, or do you add a lot to it?
Onions, a little bit of garlic, lime juice, tomato, jalapeno.
See, that's where you lose me. I can't do jalapeno.
And
Now, do you do like a rough chop on it, or do you put it in a chopper and smooth it out?
just chop it up myself and then just blend it all together.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good stuff. And we're getting into that season. Of course, I do stuff like that all year long. Chris was excited the other day because I got a new cooktop, because I'm portable now with the show. And I was experimenting, and I made roasted tomatillos and such to make a salsa for him. Oh, he was sitting in the living room working, and I kept bringing him plates of food. And then I made my famous bacon wrapped dates. That worked. And the grilled cheese sandwiches that I make that people absolutely love. So now I'm portable. I'll be doing that at the station next week for our open house.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'll be doing a little demonstration. So, but I needed something portable because not everywhere I go has a kitchen like this. This is great. I could move in here. I would be very happy here. So that's basically where we're going on this.
Wash my knife off.
Okay,
Here.
go ahead. So we got some nice color.
Very good.
Yeah. And like I said, the whole idea here was to make it just as quick and easy as possible, but still add a lot of flavor. So that's what we're doing. I have been paying no attention to the time whatsoever, so I'm hoping our wizard will tell me where we are. So while we're doing this, aside from what you do at the fire department, which is huge, we've got a big project coming in next year. And it seems like the majority of people that live in this town are completely unaware that for all intents and purposes, M24 is going to cease to exist. And you've been catching a lot of flack. I mean, you're working on the committee. I mean, you've been completely involved. But then a simple issue about how to get out the station when you can't get it down M24 has caused a lot of ruckus in the community.
One of the other things that I do is I am on the DDA in the village, because Oxford Fire Station here is in the village. So I'm on the DDA. I'm currently the chairman of the DDA. I've been on the task force since the whole project was announced for, since the whole project was announced. I've been on the task force, which is reviewing everything. It's a complete redo of M24, especially through the village, where it's a whole new streetscape, which includes new sidewalks, new light poles, new trees,
Well,
new
and
benches.
the infrastructure.
And then all the infrastructure that's going
Yeah.
underneath, from storm drains to electrical lighting for the poles, link poles, everything like that.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's
So
a long time coming.
been a complete plan for everything as it's going through.
He's very tidy. I love it.
Then trying to be
tabs.
able to plan for everything. The biggest component of this is the disruption of what it's going to take to the entire community. And a lot of people think, oh, it's just the village because it's going through the village. Well, no, it's going to affect basically every single resident of Oxford Township, Oxford Village, all the surrounding communities. Everybody that drives M24 on a daily basis is going to be affected by it.
All right, well, Wiz just gave me the sign, so
Okay.
we're going to get back to that in a minute. So we'll be right back to you and continue to build our salad and check my chicken. You even do cherry tomatoes like that. I'm impressed.
Just think, what if we didn't have local TV and radio? Where would I go for local sports, local politics, a mayor, city council, stuff that affects me every day? How about health? Who's covering things that endanger my family? I need to know now, as it happens, from sources I trust, people in my community. No agenda, no bias like you find on cable and social media, just facts. For news I can trust, I stay local. Support your local station. Text TV to 52886 today.
There are those who dedicate themselves to a sense of honor, to a life of courage, and a commitment to something greater than themselves. They have always defended this nation and each other. They still do. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Hi, I'm Smokey Cole Bear, filling in because for 75 years, Smokey only said,
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Meanwhile, the song was wrong. We did start the fire. Go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
And we're back, and look at this beautiful job on the tomatoes. This is just so beautiful. I'm a sniffer. Oh, they smell so good. Okay,
Very
put them
fresh.
in there. Very fresh. I'm gonna grab our garbanzo beans and see how that went. Okay, I used a very bendy pan. Okay, there we go. I don't know what, if anything, it did. Well, they're kind of crispy.
Yeah, they're a little crispy on the top.
Yeah. So why don't we go ahead and toss those in. I'm going to get a little bit of sauce started. Now, earlier before y'all got here, because who wants to sit and watch me clean chicken? I went ahead and cleaned chicken, threw it in the oven at 350 for about 40 minutes, seasoned it with some Grecian herbs, some garlic, and
You want these all in here?
yeah, and just let it bake. Because the whole idea here is that the firefighters can, if they all want to sit down and eat, they can all sit down and eat. If they want to grab something quick, they can grab that, they can throw it in the microwave, or they can eat it cold. So I was trying to make a very flexible preparation here, because these guys and gals work a lot of hours, and hopefully making something that was a little bit different, you know, that they haven't had before. So we were talking about M24 and your problem with the fire station.
Yes.
Go ahead, I'm just going to start
Once
the sauce.
construction starts in April of 2020, the northbound traffic will be completely rerouted from Drainer Road all the way north to Gateway Drive, which is just north of the station here. All traffic will be rerouted to Drainer, to Oxford Lake Drive, to Glassby Street, all the way up to Ray Road, and then Ray Road.
Excuse me,
back
quick
up.
note. I washed all the veggies before y'all got here. So just so you don't think I'm pulling them out, this
Okay.
is very wet because it didn't drain well.
All the way up to Ray Road, and then Ray Road to M24.
Yeah.
Southbound traffic will be maintained on one lane only, going south all the way through the village.
Kind of a chiffonade. So your problem is getting out of here. Because you
When
don't-
you're saying northbound is closed, that means it's even closed to me trying to leave the fire hall. I can't go north from here to serve the rest of the community.
Yeah. I don't think people realize that. We're sitting on the east side of M24, north of downtown Oxford. We have a huge part of the community that is to the west and the north, and now we're saying you and your emergency vehicles can't go that way.
Correct.
So they've been coming up, and people don't realize this, there's a lot of study that went into the most efficient route, the least disruptive route.
Yes, we've worked on it.
You don't
We've
want
had
to. You don't want to go
meetings-
through neighborhoods if you don't have to.
Absolutely not. I've had meetings with MDOT have come up here. The design engineers have met here at the station. We had a map of the entire township laid out, and where can we go? Where can we cut through? What can we open up temporarily to go through it?
Mm-hmm.
Understanding it's going to be an inconvenience to no matter what neighborhood or what street we drive on is going to be an inconvenience.
Pete, the whole thing is going to be an inconvenience to 50,000 people every day for 8 months.
Every single resident is going to be affected
and everybody
by
that
this.
drives through here.
Everybody. And for them to think that it's not a big deal or it's not going to affect me, they're not going to be able to drive anywhere in this community on any street and not be affected by the traffic. From the streets being shut off temporarily to traffic just backed up at a standstill. And I'm hoping that everybody is resourceful and does their homework ahead of time and learn the different streets or the different routes in the community as to what street they can actually drive down in an emergency if they have to get through. Take a segue real quick on this. It's one of the frustrations that I've had in the community with emergency services is that, take for instance a simple road as Seymour Lake Road. Everybody drives east and west on Seymour Lake Road to get into town or to go out of town. Say a bad accident happens or a wire comes down across the road and we have to shut the road down. On that basis, you cannot believe the amount of traffic that come up and say, well, this is the only way I know how to get to town. I've been lived in this community for 15 years. This is the only way that I know how to get to town. Well, you need to reroute to one of the other streets. I don't know how to get there. And I think that's someone that all the residents need to take to heart and learn the streets in the community, so in case something like that happens, how do we reroute? How else do you get out of this
Because you can't
community?
stop traffic at the seat.
No.
You have to go back to the last crossroads. so they're
Right.
not coming, because otherwise, what are you going to do with them?
It's on a regular basis. So they only know one way to get there. So if anything out of this entire thing next year, I hope that the people all learn the escape routes, if that's what you want to call them, or different ways that they can get to reroute around.
Yeah.
Whether it's a fire, an incident, or an accident, or a disaster, and or the construction project.
Yeah.
And it's going to benefit all of us. So you're not going to be able to just drive from anywhere that you live into the community without being affected by traffic next year.
Well, it's funny. I've lived here about 27 years now. And my goal every day when I would go out and run errands was all right turns and avoid M24. So I am really good with the back roads. And then you get people that say, oh, you can't use my subdivision as a cut through. They're all they're public roads.
They're all public streets.
That's right.
And again, it's going to take understanding and patience from everybody, because everybody's going to be frustrated. I mean, I don't care where you want to go, where you want to be, where you want to come from. You're not going to be able to get there.
No.
It's your normal route is going to be gone.
Well,
so.
yeah, you got extra time. I mean, think about school, you guys and school buses and the gravel haulers. Where the heck what are they to do with the gravel haulers?
Or semi-trucks, delivery
Yeah.
trucks. I mean, even somebody willing to deliver product to the tap or the tavern or
Mm-hmm.
into places downtown. They're not going to be able to drive north on 24. So
Right.
now you're going to find them trying to get down some of the side streets to come in the back ways.
Yeah.
It's an inconvenience, yes, but we all need to be patient. That's what's going to happen. So.
I'm just making up a quick packaged sauce, which I'm going to dump over the chicken. And that just keeps it a little bit moister, so however you use it.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So, well, I fear that no matter how much we talk about it, there will still be so many people that are completely surprised by it.
There will be. I mean, it's been in the papers. It's been talked about on OCTV. Has talked about it. It's been on the DDA's Facebook page, their web page from the village. Every meeting that I've been at, we've talked about it. Township board, village council, but there's still people that, yeah, I heard it. Yeah, I heard it. Until the day that the road gets dug up in front of one of the stores downtown, or somebody's going to say, oh, nobody ever told me about it. But it's ongoing, and it's going to be a project for the entire season in 2020.
Well, that's what we talked about that after the meeting the other night, when
Correct.
some of the residents were upset. And there were people outside that it was just beginning to dawn on them, and I didn't want to be rude, but I said, there's no excuse for you not knowing. There was people at the parade the other morning. Somebody went the wrong way down Burdick through the parade route. And I made the comment, well, did you read the Oxford Leader? Well, if we just moved here in January, how can we know? And before I could say anything else, this other lady said, well, you've got to read the Oxford Leader if you want to know what's going on around here and all that. And I mean, what better resource? And for now, and he's on all of this stuff, Whisk. Working closely with you guys and the various departments, because that's the only way we're going to figure it all out. Look at this. He's even got whisking technique.
Oh,
Look at this. You want to be my new co-host?
yeah.
Go place to place? Now this would thicken up upon standing. We don't have enough time to let it, but he's blending it beautifully. And that's just a basic roasted chicken gravy. And the only reason I did that is to give that a little bit more moisture. Again, thinking about the fact that it might go in the fridge for a bit, so it doesn't, I don't like things to dry out. So we're gonna put a plate together. Oh, first we have to dress this. I'm gonna borrow your knife real quick. Have you squeeze a lemon on there? Not onto the, see how I do that so it's not on the granite? Because that's bad for your knife. Oh, all right, well, I have this very cool squeezer from Sur La Table, but I don't need it. From now on, I'll just call
I do get a
Pete.
couple seeds in it this way, but
Yeah, well, a little bit of protein there. Here's
There
the
you
seed
go.
right on top. I'll
Right
grab it.
there.
Yep. Up. Okay. Now, gentle toss. Oh, doesn't it smell good?
awesome. Very fresh.
That's the whole idea. Most everything I do is very fresh. I try to stay away from canned or frozen or anything else. And it doesn't take that much extra
No.
effort. This is shaved Parmesan, get a nice little woody flavor.
I think the exciting part about the entire project next year is when it's done, at the end of the season, downtown Oxford, the village area, nice, bright, fresh, new look, new trees, new light poles, new benches, new bike racks, new plantings.
Well, it's going to be something that nobody in this town has ever seen before, no matter
This
how
road-
long they've been here.
M24 has not been totally redone in over 100 years.
Just leave that in there. No, and this is smart, and I know it's going to be a hassle, but to get it all done at once makes so much sense. And that's the township's bringing down their sewer line. So then they won't have to stop and try to renegotiate and tear up the road again. Let's get it all done at once.
Right, correct. The opportunity for the township to run a new sewer main from north of the village, all the way through the village down to Oakdale. Again, MDOT's paying to tear up the road, so there's a cost of that the township's not going to have to bear. The sewer main will be put in at the same time with the same contractor. And again, repaving afterward, the township's not going to have to be paid because it's already taken care of. So,
I found
awesome.
this cool pot in your cupboard. It's got a pour thing on it. Now, I would think that you would want to taste, but then again, you said you don't do cucumber anymore. So I'll just put this on here for a visual.
Okay.
As I can't do sweet peppers or cucumbers
I
anymore.
can't do peppers either.
Well, they're all
Or tomatoes.
They're all part of the nightshade family.
Okay.
And so more and more people, I guess, are developing a nightshade intolerance or
Interesting.
something. Yeah. I didn't know that till Larissa, who had never had any allergies, suddenly had allergies and couldn't figure out why. Might want to at least try some chicken. And it turned out she had developed an allergy to anything that grows underground like garlic and such. And it's the kind of allergy that you develop in your mid-20s and it lasts about 7 or 8 years. And then your body, if you deal with it properly, your body corrects itself. So that's hopefully because she had to give up a lot of stuff she really liked. Me, I have foods I don't like. I am allergic to like hot peppers and stuff. And artificial sweeteners. But there's other things that I love and I just can't eat anymore, which I really miss. How's the chicken?
That is awesome.
Is it moist?
Very tasty.
Good.
Very,
And
very good.
if you were to be able to eat all the things in there, would you enjoy them?
Yes, I would.
Okay, the garbanzo bean, did it do anything? Or is it just still soft?
No, it's crisped up pretty good.
Did it?
Has a good flavor to it.
Okay. Because I wondered,
Very good.
when I first saw this thing, it said to use oil on the beans, and I thought, I don't want to, fry them, even in the oven. I'm afraid that would crisp up too much, so I thought, use the vinegar. So there you go. We just
very
sat here,
good.
had a nice chat, made a meal, which I will clean up and prepare so that whoever's here and hungry can come and eat.
Very good.
In the meantime, I'm just busy. I'm working on a new venue for the murder mysteries, which I know a lot of people are looking for. Those were so much fun. And if this new venue works out, it's going to be really wonderful. So other than that, we have the open house at OCTV next week, which by the time this airs, it might be past that. But we're really excited about the new state. You've been up there. It was just
Awesome
the
facility.
parking lot's in. They're going to stripe it next week. And
Next door to the new senior center.
and that's beautiful. I was in there. Ron
out
wants
really
me to
well.
come over and use his kitchen. That's why I bought the griddle, because the only thing they don't have is a stove.
Correct.
And he was so smart when he built the island, there's no electrical plugs. So somebody in a wheelchair or on
Right.
crutches isn't going to pull a crock pot off the counter. So there's a lot of thought. Well, that's Ron. And you're very
Done a good job.
He has. And you guys are very much alike in that you're really looking at all the details. So it'll be a great time to come up and see all that stuff and see what we're doing. And I'll be cooking. I'm going to do some of my favorites. I'll do a little demonstration. And that's what's going on with me.
With the Parks and Rec, you just mentioned with Ron Davis and everything out at the Seymour Lake celebration that's coming up at the end of June.
Yes.
We'll have fireworks and everything out there.
Oh, yeah.
So Friday and Saturday night will be awesome. So
Oh, yeah. We'll be there.
great event.
Oh, yeah. A lot of stuff. Keep an eye on the leader. Keep an eye on OCTV. Watch the websites for the various departments to keep up on what's going on.
The Oxford Downtown DDA website has all the information about the upcoming construction for next year. There will be a direct link on there throughout the entire year that'll have all the projects that are going on, timelines, what we can expect for
So if people
traffic and
don't
everything.
know, it's their own darn fault.
Go to that website and get the information that they need. The plan is on there as far as blueprints and everything as far as the work that's going to be done, so it's all there available.
That's right. So there you have it. Until we meet again, I'm going to ask y'all to be nice to one another. Remember the promise. Thank you so much for this today.
Not a problem.
This was so much
Appreciate
fun.
the opportunity.
Oh yeah, we'll do it again.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't make dessert today, so maybe we'll come back and make some sort of dessert.
Sounds good.
And we'll see you soon.
Take care.